Well, thank you very much. Thank you for your guidance. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Minister, for taking this motion today. I am moving to formally propose it, and I want to thank my Fine Gael colleagues who are united in the support of carers, and in particular Senator Sean Kine for co-authoring it with me, and Senator Martin Conway for yielding his spokespersonship entitlements to allow me to propose this motion. I'm very grateful to our Seanad team. Throughout our country, every day, family members care for their loved ones in the most dedicated and selfless of ways. Some do so while also working full and part-time jobs. They do so with and without financial compensation. The figures published by Family Carers Ireland would say that over 500,000 people provide family care in Ireland, comprising 19 million hours per week of unpaid care, saving the state over 20 billion per year. There is no single profile of a carer nor of a recipient of care. They are all the young and old, parents, siblings, partners, children caring for parents and parents caring for children. The needs to being cared for comprise a broad church, from special needs, disability, all the way through to caring for the necessities and reduced capacities that come with old age. I have been very deliberate in my language, and while I accept Senator Higgins in one of her amendments is correcting me, and most probably rightly so, but I believe it is important that we keep front and centre that the recipients of care are people who are loved and cherished by their carers. There is no othering of this. It could be any of us. Quite possibly the numbers include members of this House who are providing care, and one day any one of us could be in need of care. Our motion is about ensuring that those very carers are supported and those in need of care are provided with every assistance required to enhance their quality of life. It is about hastening the programme for government commitments to support care at home, in our community and in residential settings. We are recognising and prioritising the need and value to formalise care outside of residential and hospital settings. A number of Fine Gael Oireachtas members met with Family Carers Ireland in recent months, and it was very striking in that discussion that family carers can often feel invisible, that their experience is that of living through the experiences of the person they are caring for. No one asks me how I am at a point, how I am was a point made by one of the contributors to that discussion. It is a time that they were made visible and that they were thanked in the most practical and pragmatic of ways, that the financial security supports are implemented to the full and the practical supports are provided for as locally as possible to the carers and the cared for's needs. I have 7 asks, Minister, in the calls that we make in this motion. None of them are outside of what is already committed in the programme for government. This is really a call that we hasten that into being. It is vital that the review of the National Carer Strategy should take place as quickly as possible. We need to take full cognizance of all that has been achieved and all of the work that has yet to be done. The updated strategy is vital and work on that must commence immediately. The threshold of carers' allowance entitlement must be reviewed. Appropriate and adequate pension provisions must be made for carers, recognising the value to the state of their role and ensuring that they are compensated where they have been unable to work and build up pension entitlements for themselves due to their caring commitments. We now need to accelerate the work on the programme for government commitments by both the Department of Health in conjunction with the Department of Social Protection in respect of carers. We are calling for the publication of a pathway to ensure full implementation of the Enhanced Community Care Programme. This is an excellent programme intended to expand primary care capacity and improve access to therapy services such as speech and language therapy, occupational therapy, psychology and physiotherapy. I really welcome and value that the government has put in place an additional 150 million for its implementation. It is really good news that the carer needs assessment is being rolled out in Galway, Mayo and Roscommon. This programme will determine family carer needs more clearly and link carers with their relevant services and supports. I hope that this will be a great success and that it will be replicated all over the country as quickly as possible. I acknowledge that in the last 2 weeks the Heads of Bill for the publicly funded home support providers has been published, which will extend the Fair Deal scheme outside of care facilities. The programme for government promises a carers guarantee so that the full panoply of supports for carers can be provided regardless of where they live. When can we expect movement on this, Minister? And we need a timeline, and one that is compact, reflecting that throughout COVID, carers as an extraordinary group have especially carried an enormous burden from our state, and does so valiantly, bravely and quite alone at times in the last year. There is a commitment to establish a commission on care. These needs need to also be cognizant of and recognise the future role of the decision support service when it is fully established, so that vulnerable people in need of care are assisted in making decisions about their future and have a say in what their needs are. This is bound up in the commencement of the remaining sections of the Assisted Decision-Making Capacity Act, and I believe that while this is scheduled to be on course for June of 2022, I think that even that is delayed. We need it as soon as possible. People are becoming wards of court on an almost daily basis, and it's really important that we accelerate that so that those who are in need of care are in charge of their own decision making, and that the personal assistance that should arise and flow from that are put in place as quickly as possible. But for all this to be a success, we need to provide training courses for home carers. They need help in areas such as healthcare, lifting, mobility, all of which will be beneficial both to those being cared for, but also to the carers themselves in the support of their own self-care. There is a desperate need for respite care. I have a situation at the moment where a mother cares for her daughter. She herself needs reconstructive surgery and has recently had to cancel it because she cannot secure respite care. We need to provide enhanced respite care services to include emergency provisions to accommodate instances, for example, where carers like this lady themselves may need to be hospitalised, or where there is an emergency arises, they need emergency respite services for their loved one in the event of an unforeseen circumstance. I acknowledge that the last 5 years have seen a 50% increase in the expenditure on supports, and there have been unprecedented increases this year. But this needs to continue and needs to be accelerated. A just society values care, values a community that cares, and a state values carers. It is time for that just society to be fully implemented for family carers and their loved ones, and I commend the motion to the House. Thank you.